Immanuel Kant's Concept of the Categorical Imperative by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. Immanuel Kant, 1724 to 1804, an influential German philosopher, is widely known for his moral philosophy, which is centred around the concept of the categorical imperative. Kant's ethical theory, grounded in rationality and the concept of duty, has had a profound impact on modern moral philosophy. To understand Kant's concept of the categorical imperative, it is essential to consider the historical and philosophical context in which it emerged. Kant was writing during a period of significant intellectual and social change known as the Enlightenment. The Enlightenment was characterized by a focus on reason, individualism, and the questioning of traditional authority, including religious and political institutions. Kant's moral philosophy reflects the spirit of the Enlightenment as he sought to develop a rational and universal ethical framework that could guide human behaviour. Kant's concept of the categorical imperative is rooted in his broader philosophical system, particularly his epistemology and metaphysics. Central to Kant's thought is the idea that human knowledge is structured by the mind itself, rather than passively received from the external world. This led him to distinguish between the phenomenal world, which is accessible to human experience, and the noumenal world, which lies beyond our sensory perception. Kant's moral philosophy is built upon this epistemological foundation, as he sought to establish the rational basis for moral principles that could apply universally. The categorical imperative is perhaps best known for its formulation in Kant's groundwork of the metaphysics of morals, where he presents it in several different ways. The most famous formulation states, "Act only according to that maxim, whereby at the same time will that it should become a universal law." This formulation emphasizes the idea of universality, suggesting that moral actions are those that could be willed as a universal law for all rational beings. In other words, an action is morally permissible if, and only if, its maxim could be consistently adopted by everyone without leading to a contradiction. Kant also presents the categorical imperative in the form of the humanity formula, which states, "Act in such a way that you treat humanity, whether in your own person or in the person of any other, never merely as a means to an end, but always at the same time as an end." This formulation emphasizes the inherent value of rational beings and prohibits treating them solely as a means to an end. According to Kant, this principle requires us to respect the autonomy and dignity of all individuals, recognizing their capacity for rational agency. The categorical imperative has significant implications for moral decision-making, as it provides a framework for evaluating the ethical status of actions and determining moral duties. According to Kant, the moral worth of an action is not determined by its consequences, but by the intention behind it, and the consistency of its maxim with the categorical imperative. This stands in contrast to consequentialist ethical theories, which assess the rightness of actions based on their outcomes. For Kant, the focus is on the rationality and universality of moral principles, rather than the specific results they produce. One important implication of the categorical imperative is its application to moral dilemmas. Kant argues that when faced with conflicting moral duties, we should evaluate the maxims of our potential actions and consider whether they could be willed as universal laws. This approach provides a systematic method for resolving moral conflicts, guiding individuals to act in accordance with principles that could be consistently applied by all rational beings. While Kant's concept of the categorical imperative has been highly influential, it has also faced numerous critiques and interpretations. One common criticism is that the categorical imperative is too abstract and rigid, failing to account for the complexities of real-life moral decision-making. Critics argue that it may lead to impractical or counterintuitive moral judgments, especially when applied to specific cases. Additionally, some scholars have questioned the extent to which Kant's theory can accommodate the moral considerations of empathy, compassion, and context, which are central to many ethical frameworks. Interpretations of the categorical imperative have also varied, with different scholars emphasizing different aspects of Kant's moral philosophy. Some have focused on its deontological nature, highlighting the emphasis on duty and the intrinsic value of moral principles. Others have emphasized its universalizability and rational foundation, underscoring the importance of consistency and the rejection of moral relativism. These diverse interpretations have contributed to ongoing debates about the scope and applicability of the categorical imperative in contemporary ethics. Despite the critiques and debates surrounding Kant's concept of the categorical imperative, it continues to be a significant and influential idea in contemporary moral philosophy. The emphasis on rationality, universality, and the intrinsic value of individuals has resonated with many ethicists and continues to inform discussions of moral responsibility, human rights, and social justice. Moreover, the categorical imperative has been invoked in discussions of global ethics, environmental ethics, and the ethical implications of emerging technologies, demonstrating its enduring relevance in addressing complex moral challenges. In conclusion, Immanuel Kant's concept of the categorical imperative represents a foundational aspect of his moral philosophy, reflecting his broader commitment to rationality, autonomy, and universal principles. By examining its historical and philosophical origins, key components, implications for moral decision-making, critiques and interpretations, and contemporary relevance, we gain a deeper understanding of the significance of the categorical imperative in ethical theory. While it may not provide a definite solution to all moral dilemmas, Kant's concept continues to provoke thoughtful reflection and debate, ensuring its enduring legacy in the field of moral philosophy.